So yeah, to really just I suppose reflect. We'll be as a family doing a lot of reflecting over the course of this coming weekend, and part of my plans now, after 2 years, which have been fairly intense years, is to take a real break during December. So I will be. As many people have been badgering me, Lisa, and others, to take a breather, we'll be doing so really from this weekend. But I just thought it'd be useful to maybe just chat a little bit about kind of what has happened in the last couple of years from the Jordan Legacy's point of view. And when Paul and I first met, as he alluded to right at the beginning of today, we looked at this model for what the zero suicide community had been achieving globally. And one of the things that we learned was that ground up strategies where communities, and we've heard a lot about collaboration today, where communities come together can make a real difference. We heard Jonathan's story about, the NHS and the struggles and the individual struggles of many wonderful charities, some of whom are here today, and you'll have seen the stands. But they're all trying to do a job under really difficult circumstances. And the more that we can collaborate and come together, it's going to be really important, I think, moving forward, if we are really to move towards the zero suicide, which we know is the simplest target to aim for, isn't it? It's the only one we can aim for. If we say 10% or 20%, what about the other 90 or 80%? Why aren't we looking to help them? So collaboration is going to be critical. And if I kind of look at the strategy, we recognize that this would involve engaging with communities. It would involve engaging with leaders within some of the organizations we've spoken to, and talk to them about what does it really mean to create psychologically safer workplaces. It was important for us to talk to the design out community, the surveyors, the building companies, the construction firms, the design schools, to say, this isn't just about putting a barrier up at a bridge. How do we design out the capability for people to use that as a means of taking their own lives in the future? And how do we connect and engage with the digital community around AI and apps that needs human intervention and support as well? And one of the things we've done in this last couple of years, particularly in the last year, is we've run 5 online conferences, most heavily attended, over 400 people joined, to talk about these issues. And we've engaged the conversation. And the important thing that we did then was we had follow-up conversations with these people. We didn't just run a talk. We got together and engaged with those people that really wanted to take the discussion further. We launched recently our online community hub, at the moment just been by membership only. We're going to open that up next year on the website for people that really want to discuss key issues around our zero suicide strategies, but most importantly want to take practical action as well, which is really, really important. We formed partnerships. We formed a partnership with the Department of Health and Social Care, and we have regular meetings now every 6 weeks with their suicide prevention leads and leads within the mental health policy making teams. And that's what led to Gillian Keegan opening up our conference today. We've been able to form great partnerships with the likes of Samaritans here in Harrogate and District, and got Liz Wilson here, the branch director, and with Elaine as well from North Yorkshire Police. We're partnering, in the 3 organisations, including the Jordan Legacy, are going to be working together on strategies in the community next year. We're starting to work closely with people like Joe Kent from Humber Bridge around safer public spaces networks, and having those kind of conversations. Together with Tara, who's here today still somewhere. Are you still here, Tara, or have you had to shoot off? Our mental health first aid trainer. We formed a partnership with Thrive Law in Leeds with Jodie Hill to aim to create another 100 mental health first aiders over a 12-month period, and we're well on the way to doing that. We formed relationships with Leeds Mind and the Mindful Business Network there that I'm regularly involved with, and more recently started to have conversations with local sports clubs such as Tadcaster Albion Football Club, and Andy Charlesworth there. They recently lost one of their supporters, Bruce, and we're having a conversation about whether we can create a Bruce's Place there. So all these conversations and partnerships have been taking place. I've delivered talks to many organisations, several government offices, from the Cabinet Office to the Home Office to the Department of Health, the military and the RAF, to law firms, employees of large corporations, both in the UK, in Europe and globally. As you know, and as someone mentioned earlier, you probably get sick of sight of me sometimes on LinkedIn and social media. But I know importantly, we have reached thousands of people, and I get messages daily from those people I know we've helped. And they message me daily to tell me the difference that we've made. So I know we're making a real difference there as well. Yeah. Thank you, Juliet. Lovely to see you. And we've been supported along the way by some wonderful people as well. Remember your slides, Steve. We have had people such as Atlantic UK that virtually rowed across the Atlantic. Probably the only thing they could do given the name of their company, really, wasn't it? We've got Natalie and Jasmine who are here in their T-shirt. Have you got your medals with you? Oh, you left them in the car still? Okay. Who did the 3 peaks to raise some amazing sums of money for the Jordan Legacy. And there we are. They've got the T-shirts on there. And I can tell you, certainly, it was a painful experience for at least one of you looking at the videos. We've had amazing support from one of our first superhero partners. If you go onto our website and see how you can support our work, there's an opportunity to be a partner with the Jordan Legacy at different levels. And one of those is a superhero. And our very first superhero was a company called To Work. You can see the gang in the bottom left-hand corner who also decided that the 3 peaks was an easy jaunt over one weekend. And Gal and the team are here somewhere. Harriet over there. But thank you for an amazing job. We've got a young man who I met for the first time earlier who reached out to me. And Cameron, I hope you don't mind me mentioning your name. But Cameron is planning on February the 24th to run 34 kilometres to the top of Snowdon. Why he couldn't run from the top down, I've no idea. In memory of his brother Ross that he lost age 34. Seems to be something about that age, doesn't it? Now, he's got a Just Giving page, and I'll share this on my social media again this week, and Danielle will make sure that's shared as well. But he's aiming to raise £1,500 for the proceeds to go to the Jordan Legacy. He's already over halfway there. So doing an amazing job. So a round of applause for Cameron. And another... Last week, I went to a funeral of a lady called Elaine Whitaker. Some of you will have seen my post on LinkedIn. And Elaine worked with Danielle's partner, Matt, for AXA Insurance. And she decided, having already got a terminal diagnosis of cancer and a rather large metal plate in her leg, I believe, that she was going to walk 50 kilometres to raise money for the Jordan Legacy. In the end, she ended up walking over 84 kilometres, raising £1,700. I messaged her just a couple of weeks ago because I'd heard she stopped taking her medication and said, look, we haven't met physically. We'd spoken on the phone and it would be really nice to meet. But sadly, got the message from Matt and Danielle just a few days afterwards to say that she'd very rapidly gone downhill and we lost her just recently. But a wonderful lady who had a fantastic sense of humour throughout her messages, no matter what she was going through. Just always made me laugh. She was an amazing, amazing woman. And then beginning of this week, end of last week, we got the announcement that we've got another partnership now, that we've been chosen as Betty's and Taylor's for those of you, and I know Shona has been, as a southerner, 2 Betty's today. Was it all right, by the way? Was it good? Good. Okay. Apparently, the discount that we thought might be available as a partner of Betty's wasn't forthcoming. No? Okay. But they've just announced that we've been chosen as their charity of the year for 2022. So that's pretty amazing. Also made some amazing friendships, and just sad that a couple of people just had to leave a short while ago that I wanted to mention, but maybe wouldn't want me to embarrass him. But Mike McCarthy, many of you will be familiar with, the BBC news reporter, lost his son Ross earlier this year. He's become a good friend, and he's doing some amazing work whilst going through a lot of struggles. And he was here with his wife Glenys today. Really good to see him. People like Alice Hendy, maybe she's watching this on LinkedIn Live now, I don't know, but she'll be very busy, who's created this fabulous extension to all website browsers that if you type in any harmful words, now will play some initially some countdown breathing techniques, and then messages of hope and support. Because you may find this hard to believe that up until Alice and Ripple launching this tool very recently, if you typed in "I'm looking to kill myself," the only thing that would appear in the one box area of a website search was Samaritans and the number. More recently, the text service Shout has appeared. Every school, every family, all of you here today need to go home. You need to look at Ripple, and it's spelled with apostrophe for the I, which apparently is the international symbol for suicide, I believe, she mentioned. But Ripple, free extension for schools, for families, which will just give someone that little bit of hope before they go any further. So do look that up. People like Dougie Brown that I met, who has been a good friend for years, and you never know, do you? Those people that are, you've known for years. And Dougie phoned me very soon after we lost Jordan, and he just said, "I wanted to offer my condolences," and I thanked him, and then he said, "And I lost my son Stuart just 6 weeks ago." So friendships like that have been born out of some of the more dreadful situations. You never know who's going to be afflicted by this. And really all of you that I've come to know and develop friendships with via LinkedIn has been kind of really important to me. So I do want to thank you all. I will undoubtedly have missed some people. I do want to thank Pavilions, Ben and the team and everyone today for the great room and everything they set up for us here. To Rashpal and the team at Box Media, thank you so much for everything you've done in getting the sound set up, and Andy Hardy as well for bossing me around with the B key and giving me the finger. Sorry, I gave you mine, didn't I, at the end there. More importantly as well, not more importantly, as important, whichever way you want to put it, of course, to Jordan's family, to my wife Laurence and Julie, Jordan's mother, and to Danielle and to Charlotte, who've just been incredible during this last couple of years. It's been a pretty horrendous time, and now to have Danielle working alongside me is just unreal, just absolutely fantastic, and doing a better job than me on social media, which is embarrassing, and we have had words. So thank you to everybody. Of course, this is the reason why we're here, isn't it? And as I say, Saturday we'll be taking that time out to reflect, and we mustn't lose sight of that chair. We mustn't lose sight of why we're doing this. This is not about suicide statistics and numbers. This is about real people that we need to give hope to. So apparently I will be taking some time to recharge and reflect and consolidate, and apparently write a book has been suggested to me as well. Paul's holding up as well something I will cover right at the end. In fact, I should have a copy, shouldn't I? On your seats, you would have seen a pledge form as well, which I'll come to in a moment or two. But as we look at 2022, what do we have in plan for the Jordan legacy? Well, we want to really consolidate on everything we've been doing so far. We don't want to just have these one-off conferences. We want to continue to work with those 4 layers of our strategy. But we want to move into new areas. We're going to be working hopefully closely with the likes of Johnny, Benjamin and the team from Beyond, and with North Yorkshire Police and Samaritans, and to go into schools and start working with young people. The message you've heard today is we have to, as Desmond Tutu said, if people are drowning in the river, we need to go upstream and find why they're falling in. That's what we need to do. And schools is where we need to start. We need to develop our community strategy. And one thought, little bit of pressure that terrified Mike McCarthy when we spoke before, but we've had some conversations and meeting this week where we have a concept and an idea that you might like to get behind next week, where we'd like to take the whole idea of the Olympic torch and the Olympic flame that we had that was so successful over here and create the baton of hope. And from city to city, town to town, around our country, get that lit and bring as many people together as we possibly can do. We're going to leave in a moment with a final word from Olivia Mulligan, and I'll tell you the story about that in just a moment. You will have seen on your seat a pledge form. Really, this is just something for you to say, you know, in 2022, I've been inspired enough that I want to make a difference somehow as far as mental health is concerned. Something that's practical, can be big or small, but it can be a pledge that you want to make purely to yourself and keep it private, or you can fill in that form and drop it in. There's a pledge box just as you leave by the door there on the registration table. We'll happily follow up with you and help you with that if we can do, and support you. But if you want to just keep that private, even drop it in the box without a name on, that's fine, because it would be lovely to hear what really you've all taken away from today. But I want to thank you all. I'm going to ask before Olivia actually comes up. In fact, no, I'm going to mess this about, folks. That's okay. I'm going to get Olivia just to come up and read a poem, and then Melody, if you'd like to play us out, if that's good. It's kind of my show. I'm making up the rules now, aren't you? So Olivia Mulligan is a lady that was introduced to me by another wonderful lady. In August of this year, we held a life celebration event for Jordan. It was it's been put off for over a year, really. And I met with a lovely lady called Lisa Duffield. Sorry for embarrassing you, Lisa, sitting over there, who I was introduced to by Richard Norman from Brand, Yorkshire, a stage I've stood on here many times and spoken at. And we got chatting, and and amongst other things, because Lisa does a lot of fantastic work around coaching and support for people that are struggling. And I said, I've got this idea. I want to do this life celebration, and got this friend called Big Ian who kind of sings a bit, and he's in a band. But I'm looking for somewhere. I want it to be like a festival, like an outdoor thing. She said, well, use my garden. I thought, well, you're a bit posh. How big's your garden? Anyway, it's big. I mean, it is just like off the scale, this garden. It's got its own pond. There's not a boat on it, I don't think, but it is just absolutely enormous. And on the worst day of weather imaginable in August, where it hammered it down, sunshine either side, Lisa helped us with her daughters, and everybody put on this absolutely fantastic do. But her daughter, Tiff, said, I've got a friend called Olivia. She's apparently the BBC York's Poet Laureate. She's written a poem for you for Jordan for the life celebration. Is that okay? Yeah, yes. Would she come down and read it? Which she did at the end of that event. So what I'm going to do is invite Olivia to come up now and read the poem called Stay, that Melody put to music a little earlier on, and then Melody will play us out with one final number. So Liv, over to you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. So I wrote this poem called Stay for Jordan, Steve and his family. But as I was writing it, I actually realised I was writing it for everybody. Stay. To the brother, to the uncle, to the friend we love and know, to the cousin, to the stepson, bravely putting on a show. As we look towards the sunrise, remembering you each day, your legacy was born, and in our hearts you'll stay. As we look towards the sunrise, we know there was another way. And to others fighting in silence, we're asking you to stay. To the mother, to the auntie, to the one who's not okay, to the daughter, to the best friend, we're asking you to stay. To the grandson, to the boyfriend, to the one so very strong, please stay to see the sunrise. Here with us in this world you belong. Thank you.
There's a sweet, simple life, you can live it if you want it. Oh, it's yours by the taking. This made-up world of faking. Don't you let it get you down. Tomorrow's world is never found. Oh, it's clear for all to see. It's not always harmony, but you can turn it all around. Wanna flip that frown, turn it upside down. Can you feel it? Well, I'm gonna make it easy for you. Just take a look from left to right. Those pretty faces in paradise. Some may not believe it. They hide it away like they don't see it, but we do. Oh, but we do. But we do. But we do. You feel low, you feel high, well, your mind is like a jungle. You can take what you want, eat the pie, but stay humble. Oh, it's yours by the taking. This made-up world of faking. Don't you let it get you down. Tomorrow's world is never found. It's plain and simple with me. Imagine the possibility. Well, you can turn it all around. Wanna flip that front, turn it upside down. Can you feel it? Well, I'm gonna make it easy for you. Just take a look from left to right. Those pretty faces in paradise. Some may not believe it. They hide it away like they don't see it, but we do. Oh, but we do. But we do. But we do. You can't wait till it's washed upon the shore. So let your tears run like they can run no more. Look around, you can see it in their eyes. We're all sitting and we're crying from inside. But you can turn it all around. Gonna flip that round, turn it upside down. Can you feel it? Well, I'm gonna make it easy for you. Just take a look from left to right. Those pretty faces in paradise. Some may not believe it. They hide it away like they don't see it, but we do. Oh, but we do. But we do. But we do.
Thank you, Melody and Sean. Thank you both. Absolutely amazing. Right, we're almost there. I have been given the nudge by my daughter. One of the reasons why she came on board was to make sure she picks her dad up on anything he did forget. And when I was giving all the thanks before for fundraisers, Gina, I missed you. And the Manchester Marathon. So Gina Vickers is here, just an amazing job. Really in memory of a good friend, Izzy DeGeorge, who lost her brother Harrison, but all the funds the team raised and a sizable sum as well came from Gina and all her friends. So a big thank you to you as well, Gina. Thank you. Good. I don't think I've forgotten anything else, have I? But thank you all very much. Safe journey home, however far you've got to come. And think on today. And if you want to leave something in that pledge. And for those of you who have pledged today following James's talk and just want to get in touch with me afterwards, unless that's already been taken care of. No idea what's going on. Please do. Thank you. But thank you all for joining us today. Take care.